Hello, Kingdom class. This is Reverend Mike. How are you? Thought I'd send you out a video greeting since I haven't done so in quite a while. And we had an awesome time last week. We talked about the parable of the two sons and how the kingdom requires action. If you recall, and for those who weren't able to make it, with the parable of the two sons, Jesus was showing how one son two sons were told to do something by the father, and the one son, no, I'm not going to do it, but he later repented and did what his father requested. And the second son said, yes, I'll do it, and didn't do it at all. So one would actually think, now think about it, in parenting, that means that the first son was disobedient to the parent's face, but they later repented. And the second one lied to his face because he said yes and didn't do it. At any rate, at the end of the parable, Jesus was making a point that it is what we do. Even though that son who said that he wasn't going to do it, he had a change of heart and he did what his father told him to do. And obedience is what engages and activates the kingdom. When we put action to our faith, things happen. It's not good enough to receive a word from the Lord and believe in faith and hope that it will happen. We have to put feet to it. We have to put action to it. And that was the parable of the two sons. The parable of the landowner involved the vine dressers, and how we have a responsibility. We'll first recognize that everything that God's given us in terms of our call in life, our assignments in life, is all owned by God, and we are leasing it from Him, and He expects a return on His investment. So we talked about that in great length. So if you want any details, please talk to one of the students who were there, or talk to me after class tomorrow. Want to give you some previews of tomorrow night. We're going to talk about two really big parables. One is called the marriage feast, and one is called the parable of the 10 virgins. Both of them, I believe, are going to have what I would call a relieving or a delivering kind of effect, especially if you're in situations when you don't know what to say no to, and you're juggling different things, and they're all good. How do you say yes to some things and no to some things? That's going to be dealt with in the parable of the 10 virgins. In the parable of the marriage feast, we're going to see what the Lord is saying about that in terms of His message of salvation and who we are, who we should be targeting. That is a trick question. Should we be targeting? Well, we'll talk about that. So looking forward to that. And then on February 14th, which is Valentine's Day, we will not have class. So there will be class tomorrow night, which will be February 7th. There will not be class on February 14th for two reasons. One is Valentine's Day, so it's a day for people to kind of take time off. And also prayer, my father's actually having a hip surgery, so just want to ask that you offer him up in prayer. I'll be with him for that. And then we will return back on February 14th. Class, we've been moving quite rapidly. This is the fastest pace that I've ever seen a cohort go through the kingdom curriculum. So we're going to be coming up on the kingdom laws actually before the end of this month, which is exciting. This is really the good stuff. So looking forward to that. But for now, let's take the journey. Let God give us what He wants to give us. Now, for those of you who are in mourning right now, because last night was a very epic battle. It was like a good movie. I'm talking about the Super Bowl. So depending upon what team you were rooting for, that was an epic battle. You got to give it its merits. So if you were rooting for the Atlanta Falcons, may the Lord be with you. May He provide comfort upon you. I understand. I'm an Eagles fan, so I understand. If you're a Patriots fan, they showed a particular kingdom law, which we're going to talk about. This particular law, one of a few laws that they activated that caused them to be successful. We're going to be talking about that when we get into the kingdom laws in the weeks ahead. So tomorrow night we're going to be talking about the marriage feast and the 10 virgins, and looking forward to seeing everybody. God bless you and have an impactful day in the Lord.